This is what salmonella sounds like in 2020.
But while every glamorous Glennis has its slow-mo shun, so too does JJ the jet plane have his awful counterpart.
This is what salmonella sounds like in 2022.
One rule is the principle of priority. This states that once somebody publishes their chosen name for a species for the first time, that's the name, and other taxonomists typically can't change it.
This kind of change in someone's voice isn't unprecedented. 2 years is a long time. But consider this video way back in 2015.
My name's Crispus and I don't like you. You and your British and your taxes and intolerable stamps and money. Oh yeah, Crispus? Well, that's too darn bad, 'cause us Englishes are here to stay.
So his voice sounds the exact same from 2015 to 2020, but in 2022 it's entirely different. This change in his voice coincided with his 2.5-year hiatus, a time when his infrequent tweeting was the only confirmation that he was still alive. It's as if, during this time frame, something happened to him, something that changed him from the old Sam to the new Sam. Let's take a look at some of his older content. His video, Improbable Tales of Survival, has one curious coincidence in it. When he's doing the Phineas Gage bit, Sam makes a joke about Chris Chan being God. I'm just going to assume you know who Chris Chan is. After he was arrested for incest in 2021, he developed a god complex reminiscent of the way he was portrayed in the video. It's as if Sam knew, in March of 2019, events that would not transpire for years to come. But that's not the end of it. Remember his Sigmund Freud video? The one that he supposedly took down because he felt bad about saying the N-word. That's the narrative. Do you remember what that video was actually about? Incest. He was making jokes about Freud's incestual theories throughout half the video. That's why it was taken down. He actually knew what was going to happen with Chris Chan way back in 2016. He took the video down because he was afraid his handlers were going to get onto him. Speaking of 2016, Sam's video on religious symbols has another instance of this predictive programming occurring. Watch this clip.
Hey Rob, guess what? I'm starting a new baseball team. Isn't that the Chicago Cubs logo? Oh please, they're barely even a team. When's the last time they did anything?
This video was uploaded the same year as the 2016 World Series, in which the Cubs finally broke their 108-year-long losing streak. I'm not saying that he can see into the future, but I am saying that he has, or rather had access to information detailing future events that are planned deliberately by an undisclosed third party. Given this evidence of precognition, there is some room for analysis on what outwardly seem to be one-off gags. In a video from his alternate channel, the Super Smash Bros. Melee 2018 Update Highlights, Sam makes a chilling prediction regarding Obama.
Additionally, if you have a keen eye, you may have noticed that Peach's design has been slightly altered in order to pay homage to the late great Barack Obama.
Could this be an instance of predictive programming for a future happening? You'll have to pay close attention to Obama's health for an answer, but if I were him, I'd watch my back. While some of these clips seem like slip-ups on his part, other segments of his videos and social media posts appear to be a conscious effort at telling his viewers that something's off. These little hints can be found scattered throughout his content. If these really are leaks he's been giving us, then he's effectively been working as a double agent for years. I think that, overall, Sam was on our side. Why else would he include this clip?
Did you know the Hindenburg disaster didn't actually happen? Yeah, it was an inside job by the government to make Big Zeppelin look bad. Personally, I'm glad. One less industry controlled by the fucking Krauts.
The Hindenburg disaster doesn't happen for another 5 years, dumbass.
Ah, bite me.
The reason this is important isn't because he's referencing you-know-what, but the fact that he's straight up telling the viewer about this kind of insider information. In this clip, he's Michael Malloy. He's explaining the reason he made these YouTube channels. In his previous attempts to leak deep state information, people wouldn't take him seriously. They wouldn't believe that he knew what was going to go down. So he makes these channels and puts all these little hints here and there about future events. And at some unknown later date, he reveals to everyone their master plan. But this time, people will believe him because he has credibility. He'll have a track record of all the happenings he predicted. Now watch this clip and keep your eyes peeled for anything fishy.
With the help of a local printing firm, Norton even issued his own currency, which was actually accepted by many residents of the city, despite having no backing behind it whatsoever.
Did you catch that? His currency has the Z symbol on it, a symbol which has been used to help organize vehicles in a recent major world event. About a minute later, Sam says this.
Beyond just the comedic value of his many exploits, Norton definitely had his prophetic moments, with some of his orders actually coming true decades after they were given.
He's practically telling us about these upcoming events by this point. You recognize this creature. This creature has been present in countless salmonella videos, without any explanation. It bears no resemblance to any animal, living or extinct. What reason could he have for showing us this picture so many times? Yes, he's been known to reuse his drawings before, but this thing is often present in situations where it just doesn't make any sense. Could this creature be relevant to future scientific developments they have planned? Perhaps in a similar vein to the pregnant rat that makes up Alaska. There's reason to believe that Sam's handlers might be satanic in nature. Take, for example, this image. Of all the ways he could have portrayed how sound traveled throughout the acoustic mirror, he decided to draw it the only way it could create a pentagram. This could be interpreted as Sam himself having a loyalty to Satanism, but I think in the context of the previous evidence, he's most likely trying to expose his handlers here. Indeed, Sam's relationship with the authorities has had a long history of conflict. 2 years ago, he made a post on the subreddit r/casual conversation. He asked, "Has anybody ever seen somebody actually fight with chains?" It was a perfectly good post, but the mods removed it for seemingly no reason. Could it be that they were trying to keep him focused on whatever his main mission is? That, presumably, all of his other attempts at communicating with other people were shut down as well. But that's where a loophole to this theory comes in. A loophole that exposes an even deeper layer to the story. Sam's Twitter. He made his first tweet on February 6, 2017. What happened on that day? Nothing much, just the Sapphire Jubilee of Queen Elizabeth, and Israel passing a law that legalized 4,000 settlements in the West Bank. Do you know who was the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the Minister of Intelligence and Atomic Energy at that time? A man by the name of Samuel O'Nella. Interesting coincidence right there. But that's not all that can be found within his Twitter page. Over the years, he's made a number of questionable tweets that range from subtle implications to outright confessions. But the biggest clue he's given us, the one that went right under all of our noses, is his fixation with anagrams. Take a look at this. Anagrams. Not one, but 2 tweets about anagrams. And if that wasn't enough, he even made references to anagrams in a video seen by 12 million people.
Hazdai Ibn Shaparud, which is an anagram for paintbrush AIDS.
Have you ever considered how unusual the name Sam O'Nella is? But it's just a play on words, a pun derived from the word salmonella. That's what I thought too, but now I know the truth about Sam O'Nella. Here is his username. Rearrange the letters, and would you look at that, it spells out World Economic Forum. The World Economic Forum is an international non-governmental and lobbying organization based in Cologne, Canton of Geneva, Switzerland. It was founded on the 24th of January 1971 by German engineer and economist Klaus Schwab. The foundation, which is mostly funded by its 1,000 member companies, typically global enterprises with more than $5 billion in turnover, as well as public subsidies, views its own mission as improving the state of the world by engaging business, political, academic, and other leaders of society to change global, regional, and industry agendas. Sam's very alias was made to tell us whose secrets he's been exposing and who he's been working for this whole time. With this information in mind, seemingly innocent one-off jokes have been drastically recontextualized. Just watch this clip, where he releases covert information about globalist torture techniques.
Joshua Silva says, "I got stuck upside down in a flight simulator for 15 minutes. Snarf." He was gonna say something else, but he hung upside down so long his brain forgot how curse words work.
Or this clip, where he admits to destroying hard drives, likely in an effort to conceal his leaks.
I accidentally shattered my hard drive with a hammer, so I took it to Best Buy to get it defragmented. Now it works just fine.
So if all of this information was just lying around for anyone to discover, then why didn't any of the WEF goons ever find out about it? They did. January 30th, 2020. That's when they got him. That's the date Sam disappeared. And the new Sam became our only source of information on him. And if there is a new Sam, then who is he? A paid voice actor trying to emulate Sam? No. I know that there's a possibility someone like that could go rogue again. The truth is even more sinister. Watch this video from the mysterious Sam O'Nella Institute, a YouTube channel that only has one video.
They used some guerrilla warfare tactics and took out D, Hugh, and Charlie one by one, even though he was super chill and peaceful whenever the Kasakela came and massacred his brotherine. Humphrey's group took out Goliath too.
The more observant among you will notice that his voice was replaced with an AI-generated audio. The uploader claimed that this was simply a homage. This video was a test to see if they could successfully replicate Sam's old content with artificial intelligence, and they succeeded. Everyone was eating out of the palm of their hand. There's one last facet to their plan to replace Sam, and that's the Salmonella parodies, or rather, clones. There's an army of them. Brock O'Lee, Jake Farm, John Kernay, Coolera Academy, Sigmund Openbaum, John Dice Academy, Broccoli Academy, Samaboy, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. These channels are not real channels, but rather minions of the World Economic Forum. These channels were not created with the intention to provide the viewer with stick figure edutainment, but rather to fill the gap left by Salmonella, to keep people distracted, to keep them from looking too deep into why he disappeared. When I first learned about this conspiracy, I was in a state of denial myself. But this final clue Sam left was what pushed me over the edge. 9 days before he made his first upload to Salmonella Academy, he uploaded a school project titled Jaw. This animation explicitly represents a post-apocalyptic world ravaged by some kind of nuclear weapon or disease. The main character is a ghoulish freak who has to sew on his jaw every morning. And when you look at that, Jaws. Jaws is a 1975 American thriller film directed by Steven Spielberg, based on the 1974 novel by Peter Benchley. The name of the shark from Jaws? Bruce. Bruce Willis is a famous American actor. He starred in the 1995 time travel film 12 Monkeys, in which a man-made virus kills 90% of the human population, forcing the remnants to live underground. Does that sound familiar to you in any way? On the cusp of Sam's greatest prediction, they disappeared. And there you have it. That's the truth about Salmonella, a WEF insider with a part-time YouTube channel by which he would leak undisclosed globalist intelligence. It's only a shame that he wasn't able to protect himself from the powers that be. We can only now look to his channel for further research into the agenda of the cabal that he once worked for.